Now, a Denver7 Investigates Special Report.
I'm sad that we have to be here. I'm sad that I'm sitting in this chair.
Inside sources calling for accountability.
I'm thankful that you're asking the tough questions because there's no one else to do it.
Stories raising questions about decision-making at the highest levels.
I think the public needs to know what's happening.
The story of a four-legged member of the Denver Sheriff's Department.
We made a couple calls and Riggs is alive today.
It's phenomenal. I mean, I think the power of the public definitely helped out here. They saved the dog's life.
Now, Denver7 Investigates, holding the powerful accountable. Looking back on 2024. From Studio A in the Denver7 Broadcast Center, here's Natalie, Chuck, and Tony Kovaleski.
Thanks so much for joining us. During the next half hour, we will share some of our most important investigations from the past 12 months.
Stories that started with a tip and ended with tough questions for some of the state's most powerful leaders.
We begin with an explosive racial slur made by a law enforcement officer and caught on a body camera recording.
Sources inside the Colorado Bureau of Investigation reached out to Denver7 Investigates, questioning decisions by leaders and demanding accountability. This is about shining a light.
They're not being accountable. They're not being transparent.
A light on what we found in this report. What do these 20 pages say?
20 pages say that someone that's trusted to uphold the laws of the state of Colorado is a racist. He's out of control.
A light on what was captured in a recording from a body-worn camera.
Anyone else, in my opinion, that did what he did that day would no longer work at the CBI today.
And a light on decisions made by senior leaders inside this office.
I'm sad that we have to be here. I'm sad that I'm sitting in this chair. I'm thankful that you're asking the tough questions because there's no one else to do it.
He's an informed source asking us to disguise his voice and his image. He fears retaliation. Why are you sitting in that chair?
Because I didn't know another way that we could right the wrongs that are occurring at CBI.
And he's not alone. Denver7 Investigates has received a total of 4 emails and communications from knowledgeable sources demanding accountability. Their connections to CBI confirmed by our team.
They don't want to talk about it. They want to cover it up and move on.
Hi, Valentine.
Sources say frustrations are boiling over, anger over how senior CBI leaders handled an investigation into this phone call between a female and a veteran CBI agent on Valentine's Day earlier this year.
Just waiting on the SWAT team to get here.
CBI agent Doug Pearson is in a state vehicle. Records show he inadvertently activated his body-worn camera. The video shows that camera was sitting next to him in the passenger seat.
He's waiting for her roses right now.
This 37-minute recording includes a phone conversation he never intended to record.
Called me and said that there was a shooting.
In Kansas City?
And what follows became the center of that 20-page internal affairs investigation.
They have 22 victims at Research Hospital, 1 confirmed dead.
She's informing Agent Pearson about the shooting in Kansas City, the shooting the day of the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. 1 minute and 15 seconds after learning of the shooting.
Are you looking it up, or?
Yeah.
Agent Doug Pearson, with no information about the shooters' identities, came to this conclusion.
Let me guess.
So in the recording, it's clear Agent Pearson says the effing N-word. Reaction.
I think it's absolutely disgusting. It rolled off his tongue so quickly, so cavalierly. That language is never acceptable, let alone from a law enforcement officer.
The body-worn camera continued recording. The phone call lasted another 3 minutes. During that time, Agent Pearson never apologized, explained, or retracted his decision to use the N-word in his assessment of the potential Kansas City gunman.
I'm telling you right now, anyone else says that, except Chris Schaefer's best friend, they're fired. I promise.
Chris Schaefer is the director of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the most powerful person in the state's top law enforcement agency. He oversees a staff of more than 330 employees, including Agent Doug Pearson. Is the relationship with Director Schaefer and Agent Pearson well known?
It is well known. They make no effort to hide it. They go on business trips together, non-CBI business trips. They speak in front of conventions and law enforcement groups about motorcycle gangs. There is no secret in their relationship and how close they are.
Denver7 Investigates confirmed those statements in this Facebook posting from a few years back. It includes Doug Pearson's picture and specifically describes his working relationship with Chris Schaefer. Also, in recent communications, CBI confirmed to Denver7 that Schaefer and Pearson have a decades-long personal relationship. What happened to Mr. Pearson?
Well, there's nothing official. No one knows for sure, but I will tell you what didn't happen. What didn't happen is he was not suspended. He kept working. He's still actively involved in cases.
CBI launched an internal affairs investigation after a routine review of the inadvertent recording discovered Agent Pearson using that N-word. According to the report, Agent Pearson violated policy and told investigators using the word while representing CBI is horrible. And he said it is not a normal term he uses in his everyday vocabulary. The Internal Affairs report does not include any details about disciplinary action.
It has had no negative effect that I can tell on his life at all.
How are the rank and file reacting to the discipline or maybe lack of discipline?
They're angry, they're frustrated, frankly, they're embarrassed.
Outraged by the actions and the investigation that followed, several current and former CBI employees sent communications to Denver7 Investigates, including this one. The hardworking men and women of CBI deserve better and should not be subject to the ugliness of Pearson and the message Director Schaefer is sending by protecting his close friend. Denver7 Investigates reached out to Director Schaefer and Agent Pearson requesting interviews to explain what was captured on the body camera and to address the concerns raised about the investigation. Director Schaefer and Agent Pearson both declined to sit in front of our camera.
Let me guess.
That's not the person I want investigating crimes on my behalf.
What needs to happen here?
Agent Pearson needs to be fired, first of all. Anyone else would have been. And honestly, I think Director Schaefer needs to step down. I think he's beyond saving this. I think he's done this for too long, and I think he's lost all credibility.
Now, you should know multiple current and former CBI employees contributed to our reporting, saying they witnessed a long history of Agent Pearson receiving preferential treatment, and what happened with his investigation was the final straw. Now, after turning down our request for interviews, CBI Director Schaefer did send us this statement. It included the agent was investigated, the findings sustained, and discipline issued. I was not involved in the investigation or outcome. We can't disclose the discipline because of state personnel rules. In the weeks that followed, we learned the state launched a third-party review into the details we uncovered. Our reporting continues now with more questions about how the CBI handled, or perhaps more accurately, mishandled, decisions after it concluded its investigation into Agent Pearson.
The idea of having a CBI agent on duty using this kind of language is obviously a great concern.
Stan Garnett spent nearly a decade as Boulder's district attorney. Reaction to what you saw in our report?
Concerning, obviously. I mean, it's embarrassing.
George Brockler is also a veteran Colorado district attorney. We asked both legal experts to analyze what we uncovered.
Had there not been body-worn camera, nobody would be dealing with this situation.
This is a credibility impacting event.
Let me guess.
Was captured on body-worn camera using a racial slur.
Since then, the leadership at CBI has been in damage control mode. This email from Director Schaefer to the entire staff included, the behavior in question was addressed swiftly and appropriately. And then this email from Schaefer's boss, It also attempted to lower the temperature, writing, "There's no excuse for this behavior."
They're not being accountable. They're not being transparent.
Which leads us to this letter and more questions from insiders, concerns we brought to Garnett and Brockler.
I'm a big fan of CBI. I have worked with a lot of these guys and gals for many years. I think they do good work, but this is unacceptable.
Officially, this is called a Brady letter. Law enforcement agencies are required to notify state district attorneys anytime an officer has demonstrated a pattern of bias in protected categories that include race, religion, ethnicity, and gender.
That timeline is a lengthy timeline, a concerning timeline.
Here's the timeline Garnett is talking about. It shows a delayed response that appears to support those concerns raised by our inside sources. Take a look. Agent Pearson said the N-word on February 14th. CBI concluded its investigation into the recording at the end of April. But the CBI did not send that Brady letter until the middle of October. Did not send the letter until 2 weeks after Denver7 Investigates uncovered and reported on that recording.
Let me guess.
Why they didn't release this letter until 2 weeks after your story, I don't know, but it doesn't look good.
And it looks worse when state statutes require law enforcement agencies to promptly notify district attorneys after incidents. In this case, the letters were sent 5 months after the CBI wrapped up its investigation.
Would more than 5 months be prompt? No, I can't imagine anything that would take 5 months that could be defined as prompt in this circumstance. If an investigation is completed and they have come to a conclusion, prompt might be 5 hours, it might even be 5 days, but it cannot be 5 months.
So 9 months after Agent Pearson said that word with the body camera recording, questions remain. Questions about preferential treatment in the investigation that followed, about CBI's actions after the recording became public, and questions about why Director Schaefer continues to decline requests to sit in front of our cameras and address those unresolved issues. Director Schaefer has declined to comment or explain or defend his actions against his friend. Does that concern you?
I'm a Chris Schaefer fan, and if it's him making that decision, my advice to my friend would be, Chris, step up in front of the camera, do this thing, take your medicine, and let's move on, because that's what a leader does.
So moving forward into the new year, 2 remaining questions. Will Director Schaefer respond to concerns raised by current and former CBI employees? And what will that third-party review conclude? We have been told that Director Schaefer will answer those questions on camera when that third-party review is complete.
When we return,
We all wondered if we were just crazy.
lessons learned.
Welcome back. Our quest for accountability did not stop with state agencies. It took us to a local school district.
People close to an elementary school began reaching out to Denver7 Investigates, bringing forward allegations of a teacher drinking on the job and the principal turning a blind eye.
The past year has been really hard. It has been depressing. It's very scary.
Hard, depressing, scary. Not typically the words describing an elementary school, but that's exactly how these 3 staff members describe what happened on this campus last school year.
It has been the most difficult year at Columbian to history for myself.
They all worked at Columbian Elementary School.
We all wondered if we were just crazy.
We are concealing their identities because they are afraid of retaliation after making this accusation.
It's very scary to know that Denver Public Schools did nothing to remove an intoxicated teacher.
All 3 of them, along with several other sources, claim a second-grade teacher was drinking on the job for months.
I know by November, at least, people were talking to the principal and the admin about smelling alcohol.
November. When we asked Denver Public Schools about the incident, we were told the teacher was placed on paid administrative leave on April 3rd, 2024. That's roughly 5 months later.
I actually ended up calling Safe to Tell the Thursday night before spring break, and that Friday morning, a giant security guard came in and they removed him.
Why did you choose to call Safe to Tell?
I was so frustrated and couldn't understand why nothing was being done, and I was frustrated with myself for not thinking about it earlier, like as an avenue to go through.
I think the parents of those children deserve to know what happened and what the principal of their children's school allowed.
The principal?
Drew Hall.
It was her first year as Columbian Elementary's principal.
Months went by, and again, there were more reports, people reaching out to Drew Hall, and still nothing happened.
After getting these tips, our team started requesting records from Denver Public Schools, thinking this has to be documented somewhere, right? Well, we didn't get much, not because these records don't exist, but because the school district is refusing to give them to us.
We asked for disciplinary records against the teacher and reports of any security visit to the school the day Safe to Tell was called. In both cases, we were told DPS is in possession of documents responsive to your request, which are exempt from disclosure. Our request denied. One thing we did get was a string of emails to administrators from one student's grandparent, one of them about a teacher accused of being intoxicated. It reads, 8 teachers have reported him drunk. The grandparent tells us the email was sent in January, but there was no timestamp on the copy provided by the district. We also asked for emails to or from several administrators throughout the course of the school year, involving the teacher's name and the phrases alcohol, drinking, intoxicated, or inappropriate behavior. We got back a few typical emails about the teacher's hiring process, but we also got this, a letter saying the district will not be releasing some emails discussing how to possibly address personnel issues. And we did get a list of the 10 emails being withheld. The earliest dating back to December 13th, 2023. The person who sent it, Drew Hall. We cannot confirm exactly what was written in any of those emails.
Why did you feel it was important to come forward and bring this to the public's attention?
I think the public needs to know what's happening in Denver Public Schools, that they are not taking care of the children.
We reached out to Drew Hall, but never got a response. As for the school district, we asked multiple times for an interview. We were given a statement. It reads in part, when a report of a potential unsafe environment is received by a school leadership team, they follow established policies and procedures to fully investigate the allegations. It goes on to say, Denver Public Schools cannot comment on the allegations due to the district's longstanding policy against speaking about personnel matters publicly.
Do you think anyone will take accountability after this airs?
I hope Denver Public Schools takes some accountability and removes Drew Hall and makes sure that the people at Columbian, their community and their culture is healed.
Until then, the word these staff members are left with to describe how they're feeling.
Hopeless.
Just 5 days after our report, Principal Drew Hall was placed on paid administrative leave. Following a months-long investigation by the district, DPS confirmed she is no longer an employee.
Coming up.
For me, I was a little shocked because the story was very different than the story that I was given.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, this amazing dog is alive because of a life-saving call from an informed insider.
Riggs was a valued member of the Denver Sheriff's Department's K-9 unit, but concerns over his demeanor led to the Sheriff's Department having to schedule to put him down. That single phone call from an unknown insider led to our calls.
And that changed the sheriff's plans for Riggs.
Yes, good boy.
Let us introduce you to Riggs. Earlier this year, he was on schedule to be euthanized. I'm guessing you're aware our story got a lot of attention.
Yes, sir.
Denver Sheriff's Department changing its mind when it comes to the future of a canine officer after Denver7 Investigates questioned the decision to put that dog down.
A lot of people worried about Riggs.
Yes, sir.
Clover Street is Riggs' new owner, an expert in dog training.
Platz.
His experience started back in the Army.
Good boy.
As a vet tech. He was in line to be euthanized.
I don't think this dog warranted euthanasia.
Did the Sheriff's Department make a mistake here?
I believe they did.
Initially, a decision was made to move towards euthanization.
That was Denver's sheriff back in April, candidly admitting his department planned to euthanize Riggs.
When we got the call that your team was also looking into this, and I said, let's look at this differently, and I made the decision to move in a different direction. So we appreciate all of the folks that were concerned with the path that we were going down.
That concern led to a call to the Denver7 Investigates tip line, and within hours, the Sheriff's Department reversed its decision.
We heard the feedback and made a different path going forward.
Riggs.
I thought it was definitely a knee-jerk reaction to certain behaviors they may have seen, but I definitely don't believe it warranted euthanasia.
So now Riggs has a new home, Clover Street has a new dog,
Boys.
and this story has a happy ending.
I think I got very lucky with this because now I have a really good dog.
We made a couple calls, and Riggs is alive today.
It's phenomenal. I mean, I think the power of the public definitely helped out here. They saved the dog's life. Whoever made the call definitely played a pivotal role in keeping this dog alive.
Undoubtedly one of our favorite investigations from the past year. Now, it's also a tremendous example of how one call, one tip can lead to significant change.
We thank you for joining us and ask you to keep the calls and the tips coming our way. I'm Natalie Chuck.
And I'm Tony Kovaleski. Your help lets us hold the powerful accountable.
We only saw a commitment option that was appropriate at the state hospital, frankly, once you all turned your lens to this situation.
Nothing has happened until we got a hold of Channel 7 News, and now something's happening, so we're very excited.
It seemed like a very odd coincidence to me that immediately after the last hearing and when your station applied to have cameras in the courtroom, that suddenly placement happened. So I think this may be related to your efforts, and I appreciate them.